Eshita, what about you? What was your moment when you saw that, hang on a minute, there's a relationship here between fashion and climate, or even just fashion and sustainability?
Yeah, I think I'm a self-confessed ex-shopaholic. So growing up in Singapore, there's like two national hobbies. One is eating and the other is shopping. So for me, the outdoors, because it's a city-state, right? So I think it's even smaller than London, or maybe just, yeah. And the population is smaller than London. And we never had anything like the countryside. So for me, the outdoors were shopping malls. So I grew up with a very sort of shopaholic kind of mindset. And I think, when I started working, I had this disposable income. People think a lot about things like payday and how they're going to, take advantage of that, go out with their friends, wear a new outfit. And I think, seeing all of that around me, I was, I didn't really think much about fashion besides the fact that it was a way for me to express style. It wasn't actually until about 3 years ago, well, a little longer now, that I was planning my honeymoon back to my motherland, which is Rajasthan in India. And I hadn't been back for about 13, 14 years, and I wanted to bring my husband, who's not Indian, and he's not, he's never, he wanted to see my roots and where I grew up, and I wanted to reconnect. And while planning this honeymoon, I started thinking about all the outfits that I wanted to wear for this trip of a lifetime. And a lot of us do that. We buy clothing for holidays, right? And so I started thinking about this idea of sharing clothes, renting fashion, and how a lot of it was very much for special occasions, like balls and things like that. And I thought I would love to reach out to these women on social media platforms who often wear outfits only once, that outfit of the day hashtag, and maybe say, can I borrow your clothes and pay for it? Would it be weird? So kind of like Airbnb or Uber, very much about the sharing economy. Yeah. And it wasn't actually until my honeymoon that I witnessed a lot of textile waste. So, that photograph that you saw really coming to life. And I felt very guilty because I was going back to my suburban hometown after 14 years and living in the Western world. Yeah. I was donating all this clothing, and 90% of that goes to landfills in Asian and African countries. Yeah. It sort of felt, I don't know, very imbalanced, kind of almost racist, to be honest. And I just thought, I don't want to be a part of this. And this fashion rental idea that I have, why not make it something really real and get people to share what they already have with each other? Yeah. So that was my moment, I suppose.
Well, that's wonderful. That's really beautiful. And you mentioned something that I wonder, Tati, I feel like you could relate to as well. And maybe all of us can relate to. It's like the pressure of the fact that once you've worn something, there's this expectation that you're not allowed to wear it again, like especially for special occasions and things like that. You talked about festivals and stuff like that, but we know that if you hold on to, like if every single person here wore like a thrifted or wore the same outfit a second time, held on to it for like another 9 months, we're reducing carbon waste and water. So there's a pressure that's put on us as well, and we're aware of that, to constantly keep up with things, and that is really, really unfair. I was curious, Tati, when she was talking, because you're in the public eye, and I mean, this girl really does rock a red carpet. You're so, so, so iconic with your style as well. But do you feel that pressure sometimes, just to kind of always present something new?
Yeah, very much so. And it's something that, especially in the last 2 years, that I've thought more about, of like, why? Yeah, we don't need to. I was saying to Eshita earlier, I'm very sentimental about things, especially with my clothing. Like, I love when a piece has a story, like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Like, it's like, where's this piece been? What adventure did it take someone on? And so with that, like, with the idea of, every carpet, it's like you have to be different. You have to wear something new. You can't wear the same thing that somebody else wore last season. It's like, well, why can't we just reframe the perspective to go, well, this is this person in it. This is this person expressing themselves through it. To find a different point of focus. It shouldn't be about the clothes. It should be about the person wearing them and how they're using the clothes as a projection of self. So with me, when it comes to, and this is something that I'm, still working to figure out a way through, but when it comes to when I pick red carpet things, when I do feel the pressure to have to do something different, I always make sure that I go with sustainable brands, or that I research whoever it is that's trying to dress me. That's the first question I always ask. Do you have a sustainability plan? Do you have sustainable clothing within, or are you on a path towards it?
Nice.
And if not, it's a no-go for me, straight up. Same thing with brand deals, with everything else. I'm like, no, because I'm not going to promote your thing that is killing our planet to millions of people to make it worse.
Can I just say that's amazing to make those kind of choices?